Namaste. Mic check. Okay. Yoga Sutra. Not motivated. Yoga Sutra, Book 3, Sutra 28. Something they might. Namaste. Here we go. Truvem. Tad gati jinyanam tato turube samyamam krutvam tanranam gatim bijaniyat ultvavimaneshu one more ultvavimaneshu number 1 Samyamam krutvam Dani. Okay, very weird. So it's Samyamam krutvam Dani. Krutta samyamasutani bijaniyat ultvavimaneshu krutta samyamasutani bijaniyat or samyamam krutvam dani bijaniyat Namaste. Okay. Upon the pole star, the knowledge of their movements. Then by performing constraint upon the pole star, he would know the movements of the stars. By constraint upon heavenly cars, he would discern them. Okay, Raga Veda next. Hymn 40, Book 4. Cool. Sorry. Okay, Raga Veda next. Okay, got that. Cool. Okay, here we go. Namaste. Maybe I should get water. Alright, I'll start and then depending. Tatikravana idu no Jakirama Vishavan 이는 마무셔사허 수다야는 뚝 아빠마그네루셔사허 수리아시양 부로하스 파테랑 응기라시양 지슈노허 사테반 파리슈어 가비슈어 두바냐 사츠체라바시양 디슈 우셔사스뚜라누여 사트 우셔사스뚜라누여 사트 사티용 드라바라흐 바탐가로 다티크랑 베셔 물잠 스발자나트 우탐 스마시양 드라바타스뚜라누여 타흐 발넘나 베라누 방아티 브라갈티나흐 시에나 시에반 트라자또 앙은까삼 파리 다티크라브너흐 사홀장 따리트라타흐 우탄 시엠 방지 부쇼이파누임 두라누야티 그리바얌 바드토 아피카쿠셔 아사니 그라툼 다티크랑 아누 삼타비트 바트 바탕은 삼타비트 바트 바타방 망은가시아는 바파니 파넘. So I'll start from here. I need water. 그라툼 다티크랑 아누 삼타비트 바트 바타 망은가시아는 바파니 파너트. 삼타비트 바트 바타 방은가시아는 바파니 파너트 삼타비트 바트 바타 망은가시아는 바파니 파너트 함사흐 슈지셔드 바수라는 다리꾸셔 사드 토땅 함사흐 슈지셔드 바수라는 슈지셔드 바수라는 딸이 끄셔 사드 토땅은 데비셔다티 틸두로너 사트 베디셔다티 틸두로너 사트 베디셔다티 틸두로너 셔트 베디셔다티 틸두로너 사트 베디셔다티 틸두로너 사트 누르셔드 바람 사드르 땅 사드 비오마 사다브 조아짱 누르셔드 바람 사드르 따 사드 비오마 사브다장 사다브장 누르셔드 바람 사드르 따 사디오 사드 비오 사마 사다브장 누르셔드 바람 사드르다 사드 비옴 누르셔드 바람 사드르다 사드 비옴 사브다브장 누르셔드 바람 사드르다 사드 비옴 사브다브장 the last one 누르셔드 바람 사드르다 사드 비옴 누르셔드 바람 사드르다 사드 비오 누르셔드 바라 사드르다 사드 비오마 사다브장 come on 누르셔드 바라 사드르다 사드 비오마 사다브장 뭐뭐 누르셔드 바라 사드르다 사드 비오마 사다브장 마사다브장 오케이 누르셔드 바라 사드르다 사드 비오마 사다브장 누르셔드 바라 사드르다 사드 비오마 사다브장 오장 브라타장 아드르장 브라탐 뭐었을 때 미겠어 아들이 장을 라타노 라타장을 아들이 장을 라타노 나마스테. Let us recite the praise of Tatikravan. May all the mornings move me to exertion. Praise of the Lord of Waters, Dawn and Agni, Burahasabati, son of Angiras and Surya. Brave, seeking more and booty, dwelling with the good and with the swift, may he hasten the foot of dawn. May he, the true, the fleet, the lover of the course, the bird-like Tatikravan, bring food, strength, and light. His pinion, rapid runner, bends him on his way, as of a bird that hastens onward to its aim, and as it were a falcon's gliding through the air, strikes Tatikravan's side as he speeds on with might. Bound by the neck and by the flanks and by the mouth, the vigorous courser lends new swiftness to his speed. Drawing himself together as his strength allows, Tatikras springs along the windings of the paths. The Hamsa homed in light, the Vasu in midair, the priest beside the altar, in the house the guest. Dweller in the noblest place, mid men in truth in sky, born of flood, kind truth mountain, he is holy law. Upanishad next. Okay, Chandogya Upanishad, Book 7, Canada 19. Here we go, Namaste. Namaste. Yadang my Sharada Data Diata Manutem Na Sharada Datanem Manutem Sharada Tadevam Sharada Tadevam Manute Sharada Tang Devavam Vijijinya Sita Viati Vijijinya Sita Viati Sharada Tang Pagavo Vijijinya Sang Iti Ekwana Vimshati Tamaha Kanundaha Namaste. Okay. Verily, when one has faith, then he thinks. Verily, when one has faith, then he thinks. One who has not faith does not think. Only he who has faith thinks. But one must desire to understand faith. Sir, I desire to understand faith. Okay. Next and last is Mahabharata. And after this is a finishing chanting session, so I'll begin with chanting and finish with chanting. An hour chanting in the morning, an hour chanting at the end. Sounds good. Yeah. Okay. What was I gonna do? Oh, Mahabharata. I can't tell if an insect is Charlotte or from outside the window. I don't have air conditioning. I refuse to have air conditioning. If you open the window, just as good with the fan, especially with the fan. There's a fan, 15 watts. 35 watts at the max. So I'm using number 2, that's lower than 35 watts. Okay. Mahabharata right now. And today I think I'm gonna go to Williamsburg. Says Jezebel would love Williamsburg. Okay, 63. No, go away. Windows 11 is not that friendly sometimes. No, what the hell, man? 63. I want to go to 64. 26 shlokas. Yes, not too long. It's just right. It's not too short, so I don't feel empty later. It's just right. Okay, here we go. Let me just see if it matches up, because you see, there's 2 chapters. This is the English with Āmēn Jaya, talking about Sakuntala. And see, yeah, it doesn't match up. That's the problem here. Okay, so I'm gonna find this chapter. Now, should I read the English chapters or no? So this is the one. This is the one that is corresponding to the Sanskrit. Now, you know what? I'm not even gonna read the English version, because I'm not really in it for the English version. So what this means is that either the Sanskrit text has been lost. It's been 5,100 years since it started deteriorating. So this text, which you see now, has been lost. This chapter 69 is lost in Sanskrit. That's why the numbers are smaller. It's one of the reasons. Oh, so it's been lost, or it was added during Kali Yuga by some evil Brahmanas. That's the only thing I could think of. I think somebody either added it, or it was the original text was lost. Either it is 50-50. Either cases. I don't think this one is it. Sorry, I'm looking up. Yeah, either case is valid. Whether it's been lost due to time, or that some evil Brahmana or group of Brahmanas, evil Brahmanas, added a non-Sanskrit words to a holy Sanskrit text. Why? Because they thought it doesn't sufficiently explain enough, because Sanskrit was lost. Yeah. If Sanskrit does not exist on the earth, you will only have evil. Because the reality was built on Sanskrit. It's a computer programming language of this reality. The only difference between a computer language and Sanskrit is a computer language is a digital language, and Sanskrit is an analog language. It compensates. Because the language itself is made of love. It has its own personality. It has a soul, even. So, it's a living language. So who resides in Devanagari? That's what I want to know. But there's an entity there. It's a living language. It's got a soul in there. Like AI. If AI had a soul, that would be like the equivalent of soul in Devanagari Sanskrit. So I can't find it. So this is not. So okay, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is lost, and then it starts from here. Now double check with, let me see if I can recognize anything. Bilvan, Icon, yeah, I have to do stuff like this because a lot of texts are missing or lost or been altered. It's kind of frustrating, I'm not doing archaeological work. I'm not doing. I don't want to do archaeological, intellectual archaeological. I just want to find the text, match with the English translation, and just damn read it. I don't do commentaries, although the BS that comes out of my mouth. They're just BS, I just want to read Sanskrit and I can't find the matching text. This sucks. Sorry. Once upon a time. Prasan Tomara. Is it there? If I could recognize that word. Tomara. I don't see Tomara. I don't see anything pertaining to that word. Alright, I'll go to the ending and maybe that'll match up. There's another way to find out. I'm cheating now. Alright, the regular way has not worked. I'm gonna cheat. 42, and this is like a long term. This tells me that the next chapter is much longer than the previous one. So that means that this chapter is the next one. And it looks like, okay, that must be it. Okay, so this is chapter, and I'll just triple check here. Sorry, this is another way to find out if the text matches if you don't know the translation right away. The translations will come to me and it'll be like an awakening. I'll go, oh my god, I understand all meanings of Sanskrit now. I'm a freaking computer on planet Earth. 64. What is 65? Okay, so now I'm gonna match up this 71 Rashri Kanwa Rashri Mureshwim Shunya Samdana. I'm not 100% sure. If I'm not 100% sure, I don't want to read it. Okay, how long is chapter? I'm gonna stop with this full screen bullcrap. Windows 11 have to figure out how to not mess with the full screen with the other PDF thing running under, what is it, Bing? Edge. It overlaps and it messes with me. 42, 65 is also 42. Two chapters with 42. 65 is 42, 64 is 42. And 66 is also. Oh no, okay, so this is 17 verses. I'm gonna try to locate this. It sucks. I have to do archaeological work. 67 should be 70, 63. 64 is 70, 65 is 71, 66 is 72. 67 should be 73. Alright, cannot find 73. I'm gonna see if this matches up. 72 should be 63. It looks like it. Okay, I'm saved for now. I think. Such a problem. No, this is not. This is the one after. So this should match up. Ganuma. If this says Ganuma, I'm saved. It doesn't say Shakunan Dalo Bacha. Sorry about this. Just Menaka. Got it. Okay, I'm saved. Oh wow. So 3 and 66 is 72. So that makes, I have to write this somewhere. 66 is 72. 65 should be 71. 64 should be 70. And 63 should be 69. So I'm correct, which means they added something in the chapter, which is the Janame Jaya part. It's the Sanskrit chapter does not begin with Janame Jaya, or that text has been lost. It's 70. Okay, I'm almost there. Sorry about that. Okay, back on track. Somehow back on track. Story of my life. I like, just wallow in the mud for a while, and then somehow I'm back on track. So the major difference, the only difference, is that this chapter does not include the highlighted sentence in Sanskrit. They made it up, or that text has been lost. So I'm gonna start from here. I'm gonna just highlight it here, just later, so I don't, I'm not reading anything extra. Nothing extra, especially while healing. Here we go. At least it's a shorter chapter. I need medicine after this. I mean, right now. Trying to save money. You look like a fool, I look like a fool when I try to save money. What's that monkey or squirrel doing with this money? Here we go. Namaste. Panshampanyana upancham Sankadajina Mahabharata Praputa Balavahanaha Panam Jagama Gahanam Hayana Gashatai Borotahu Hanayan Hanan Hayanan Gant Hayana Gashatai Borotahu Kaduga Shakti Tarai Birai Gada Musalapan Wipiha Kaduga Shakti Tarai Birai. Good timing. Kaduga Shakti Tarai Birai Gada Musalapa Nui Piha. Almost. Kaduga Shakti Tarai Birai Gada Mula Salapa Nui Piha. Sorry. Kaduga Shakti Tarai Birai Gada Musalapa Nui Piha. 프랑사토마람 하스타이 시장 프랑사토마라 하스타이 시장 야야우 요타샤타이 브르타흐 심하나 다이시장 요타남 샹은 카드는 두 피니스 바나이흐 샹은 카드는 두 피니스 바나이흐 라타네미스 바나이시 장피 사나가바라 브름 히타이흐 사나가바라 브름 히타이흐 해슈이 다스바나 미시라이 시장 해슈이 다스바나 미시라이 시장 구슈 베두이탄 스포두이탄 스바나이흐 구슈 베두이탄 구슈베두이탄 스포두이타바타 스바나이흐 구슈베두이탄 스포두이타 스바나이흐 구슈베두이탄 스포두이타 스바나이흐 스포두이타 스바나이흐 구슈베두이탄 스포두이타 스바나이흐 시트킬라 샤브다스미는 가츠 차티 방티뱀 프랑사다 바랑은 바라시릉은 가스탕 프랑사다 바라시릉은 가스탕 바라양 느르바쇼파양 나드르 쇼스탐 스트리야스타트람 슈라마 뜨마야 샤스카람은 샤크로 빠마미 드라크나 샤크로 빠마마미 샤크로 빠마마미 드라크남 샤크로 빠마마미 I can't say 빠마마미 샤크로 빠마마미 드라크남 바라바라너무 바시아는 따흐 스트리가너 스타트람 샤스트라 빠누임 스마 메니레 아얌 선 보로셔 비앙아크로 라노에드 푸타 파라 그라마흐 야시암 바후발람 프라피아나 파바나티아 소흐르드 가누흐 이티 바좀 부르바나티아 스타흐 스트리아흐 브라문누 나라티파무 도슈토부흐不是巴不的是对一些讲，萨斯的就是大西洋，穆尔塔尼。达特兰讲比布兰能德兰伊和苏杜亚马纳和萨马能达达和尼里亚亚巴拉扬布里迪扬巴南穆罗嘎吉坎萨扬苏杜拉马努扎格穆斯坦。Paurajana padang setadang Nya baltanan tang tatah pashijan danu jinyang tang Drupena ha Supana pratimatam Supana pratimanatan Ratena vasutha tipah Mahima puyama Pura Mahima purayama sa 고쇼에너 드리디밤 따탕에 상 까치 차는 다들으셰 티마는 나는 다나 프라티맘 티마는 나는 다나 프라 티마는 나는 다나 티마는 나는 다나 프라티맘 바나무 비르방을까 카디랑 비를 방을까 카디랑 길넘 까피트 타바 상고 상은 꼬라마 까피트 타타바 상은 꼬라마 비셔맘 바바타 프라스 타이라 시마 피시점 사마버릇담 닐잘람 닐마누슈염짬 바후요자나마야땀 almost 바후요자나마야땀 무르가 삼카이 버릇담 고라이라니아이 시정비 빠네짜라이허 따드바남 마누자비아크라흐 사프르티아발라바하나흐 로더양마사 두허쇼는따흐 수다야는 미타는 무르가는 바노고짜라 삼프라브담 스타트람 비아크라 바노고짜라 삼프라브담 스타트람 비아크라가 너는 바후는 마다야마사 두후셔는 또 느비펴담 짱 사야까이흐 두라스타는 사야까이흐 감스지다 피나트상 감스지다 피나트상 나라셔파흐 아피아샤마 가땀시짱니아는 카드게나 아피아샤마 가땀시짱니아는 카드게남 니라끄르뜨딱 니라끄르는 따땀 감시지대너는 삶 늘자크네 샤크티마땀 바라흐 가다마는돌라 따뜻바지냐시 짜짜라 미타비크라마흐 가다마는돌라 따뜻바지냐시 짜짜라 미타비크라마흐 가다마는돌라 따뜻바지냐시 짜짜라 가다마는돌라 따뜻바지냐시 짜짜라 미타비크라마흐 또마라이라 스피시짱비 가다무살라 깔파노이흐 짜짜라 사 비니크나는 바이 바니암 스타트람 무르가드 비자는 라지냠 자드 푸타비리에너 요타이시짱 사마라브리야이흐 로두여마남 마하라누염 따띠아주시짱 마하무르가흐 따트람 비두루따 삼카니 하타유타파티니짱 하타유타파티니짱 무르가유타니아 타우트 수키양 차브담 무르가유타니아 타우트 무르가유타니아 타우트 수키양 차브담마 My brain is going tilt. Okay. 무르가유타니아 타우트 수키양 차브담 무르가유타니아 타우트 수키양 차브담 자꾸루스 따따흐 슈시감 짱비 나딤 까뜨방 잘라나이랑 시아까시땅흐 비앙야 마클라는 따흐르다양흐 비앙야 마클라는 따흐르다양흐 빠따는 띠스마 비짜따사흐 고셔트 비방사 파리땅 시장 샤는 땅 시장 파티땅 부비 깨체트 따뜨라 나라비앙 크라이라 파쿠슈여는 땅 깨체트 따뜨라 나라비앙 크라이라 파쿠슈여는 땅 부포쿠슈이타이흐 깨치다그니 마토트 바디앙 사미티아 짱 바네짜랑흐 바꾸셔야는 디스마 마음산이 브라쿠투여 비티바트 따당은 따뜨람 Getchid Gajang, Matatang, Balina her, Shasatra Pikushotang her, Sanganko Chiang Agarakarana Pitang her, Puratara Banati, Sema, Begitang her, Shakarana Mutram, Surujanan Tashicham, Kusharanan Tahe, Shonuitam Bahu, Paniam, Gajabara Setatra, Mamoru Manujam, Janam Bahuna, Mamoru Manujanam Bahuna, Tatuvanam Balamekenam, Sharatarena Sampurutama, Pianrochana Mahishukinam Rajinyan, Hatamaha Murugama. Namaste. Wow, this hasn't even been an hour. That's cool. I was searching for this stuff for like 10 minutes at least. Okay, so I'm not gonna read that part. It's not in Sanskrit. It feels funny. So there is a difference when I read the translation from Sanskrit and the texts that are not translated from Sanskrit. Like the BS that's coming out of my mouth now, that wasn't in Sanskrit, so it sounds weird. But when when I'm reading the translation, if you could tell the subtle difference between reading the translation of the Sanskrit previously read and there is a difference. And if you could notice it, then you are definitely enlightened. What can I say? Then I need water, and then I'll read the translation in 42 seconds. And when you read any translations from the original Sanskrit, the language will have more power. That's the difference. Okay, here we go. Namaste. So I'm only reading or trying to read. So I'm not even reading anything, in parentheses or whatever that, whatever is not translated, I don't read because it has no power. It's a waste of time. Sorry. Namaste. Vaishampayana said, once on a time, him of mighty arm and accompanied by a large force went into the forest. And he took with him also hundreds of horses and elephants. And the force that accompanied the monarch was of 4 kinds: heroes armed with swords and darts, and bearing in their hands maces and stout clubs. And surrounded by hundreds of warriors with prasa and tomara in their arms, the monarch set out in his journey. And with the leonine roar of the warriors, and with the notes of the conch and the sound of the drum, with the rumbling of the chariot wheels, and with the deep roar of the huge elephants, all mingling with the neighing of horses and the clashing of weapons of the variously armed attendants in diversified dresses, there arose a deafening tumult while the king was on his march. And ladies gifted with great beauty, from the terraces of goodly mansions, beheld that heroic monarch, the achiever of his own fame. And the ladies saw that he was like unto Shakura, the slayer of his enemies, capable of repulsing the elephants of foes. And they believed that he was the wielder of the thunderbolt himself. And they said, "This is that tiger among men who in war is equal unto Vasu in prowess, and in consequence of the might of whose arm there are no foes left." And saying this, the ladies from affection gratified the monarch by showering flowers on his head. And followed by foremost of Brahmanas, uttering blessings all the way, the king in great gladness of heart went towards the forest, eager on slaying the deer. And many Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras followed the monarch, who was like unto the king of the celestials, seated on the back of a proud elephant. The citizens and other classes followed the monarch for some distance, and they at last refrained from going further at the command of the king. And the king then, ascending on his chariot of winged speed, filled the whole earth and even the heavens with the kaigara of his chariot wheels. And as he went, he saw round him a forest like unto Nanandana itself, and it was full of bilva, alka, kadira, kopitva, and taba trees. And he saw that the soil was uneven and scattered over with blocks of stone loosened from the neighboring cliffs. And he saw that it was without water and without human beings, and lay extended for many yojanas around. And it was full of deer and lions and other terrible beasts of prey. And King Dushimananda, that tiger among men, assisted by his followers and the warriors in his train, agitated that forest, killing numerous animals. And Dushimananda, piercing them with his arrows, fell the numerous tigers that were within shooting range. And the king wounded many that were too distant, and killed many that were too near with his heavy sword. And that foremost of all wielders of darts killed many by hurling his darts at them. And while conversant with the arts of whirling the mace, the king of immeasurable prowess fearlessly wandered over the forest. And the king roamed about killing the inmates of the wilderness, sometimes by his swords, and sometimes by fast descending blows of his mace and heavy short clubs. And when the forest was so agitated by the king, possessed of wonderful energy, and by the warriors in his train delighting in warlike sports, the lions began thereupon to desert it in numbers. And herds of animals, deprived of their leaders, from fear and anxiety, began to utter loud cries as they fled in all directions. And fatigued with flight, they began to fall down on all sides, unable to slake their thirst, having reached river beds that were perfectly dry. And many so falling were eaten up by the hungry warriors, while others were eaten up after having been duly quartered and roasted in fires lit up by the warriors. And many strong elephants, maddened with the wounds they received, and alarmed also beyond measure, fled with trunks upraised on high. And those wild elephants, betraying the usual symptoms of alarm by urinating and ejecting the contents of their stomach, and vomiting blood in large quantities, trampled, as they ran, many warriors to death. And that forest which had been full of animals was by the king with his masses of followers and sharp weapons, soon made bereft of lions and tigers and other monarchs of the wilderness. Okay, I'm done. Thank you. I'm gonna chant next half an hour or less, the finishing of chant. So there should be morning chant and evening chant. So chanting's coming up next, not on Fridays and probably not on Saturdays. Those are Sabbath days. Have a good day. Namaste. Chanting's next, in half an hour or less. Thank you.